Content ideas by industry from someone who takes her clients viral, authors. So authors actually have a unique opportunity to really kind of tease us with the story of your novel, or if it's a business book, to give us little segments and highlights of inspiration and walk us through a little bit at a time. We used to do this back in the day on Facebook, and actually I still do this with some of my clients, where we do daily lines, where we will literally once a day post 3 sentences of a story, and each day those lines connect to the ones from the day before. So we're walking people slowly through a chapter over 2 weeks, for example, or a month even. But what it does is it's kind of a slow burn or a slow build, if you will. It allows people to get us into the tone, to understand the value, to understand the mystique, the characters, kind of fall in love with part of what's happening, especially if it is a novel. If it is a business book, this is still a great way to say, okay, that's a great lesson. That was pretty awesome. I got a lot out of that. That made perfect sense. In fact, the way that I would do this if it was a business book is I would actually do the main point that you were making and then drip little lines throughout from there. You could even do this as a slideshow, where it is one of those text-based videos where people actually do the slideshow and move it. That would work well on Instagram and Facebook as well. Another way to present it is to just start telling the story, but start someplace in the middle. Even start with a sub-story, a side quest, if you will. That kind of secondary story plot. Just give us a moment of entering the story, tell it as a first person, and start walking us through it. Give us enough of a tease that we understand the characters, we understand the conflict, and we understand the tone of the book, and then let us know that they can go and grab it at the TikTok shop or on your web. Another type of video that I've made for authors is actually that point of view where the camera is just walking straight towards the bookshelf. You can see the hand, grab a book off the bookshelf, drop it on table, open it up, and then point to 2 or 3 sentences or a top line or a top point and then close the book and show us the cover so they know what book to buy. It's really about building mystery, interest, intrigue, and showing the value. If it is a business book, I often will have the author talk about one of the chapters and start telling us the client example, maybe it's in that chapter, or like, here are the 3 steps to do this, go grab the whole book, and I walk you through how to do the whole process. So we start kind of introducing it, but I drip that content with other interesting content so it's not quite such a direct sale, and we really build that interest from the get. There's a lot of places to play. Okay, artists, I have to tell you, I was an artist for 15 years. Creating content as an artist can be really scary. You're thinking, if I show too much of my process, if I show too much of my behind the scenes, this is something people can take from me, steal, or replicate. And I promise you, as someone who painted, that no matter how much detail you show us, no one can replicate it the way you do. You just have your own style. You have your own talent. So go ahead and give us some of that behind the scenes. Give us some of that process. And actually, I try to have, when I worked with artists, I had them create videos that are very, very tight on what they are painting. And then we zoom out and get the whole thing at the end, or even get just a portion of it at the end. It might not even be finished. Maybe even a series of one painting over 5 to 10. Even just mixing paint. It is the stuff that really astounds people about art, that are, when they're not artists, mixing paint is wildly interesting. The bucket of paint where you've poured in all these colors and now you're mixing it together, that alone is a video. In fact, doing that and then switching and having a nice transition over to the finished painting is a fascinating way to do it, especially if it was a color that we were completely drawn in of, like, what the hell is this bizarre teal going to be? And then you show us this big painting that you did. So walk us through it, but do it in a way that leaves out a lot of the pieces so that we have to fill that in with our imagination, and we just get drawn into, that was really interesting, or that was amazing, or I wasn't expecting that. And what happens is we start to learn your videos are unexpected. And so we start watching them going, I have no idea where this is going. And it becomes the thing that we are watching and drawn into. But don't forget that you can put yourself into those videos too. You can put your story, you can put dialogue over videos of you painting. I would actually even just set up time lapses and then do a voiceover in your videos talking about the heart of your art, the reason you paint, the inspiration you had. A lot of people paint because they just have to. It is a passion in them. Same with authors, actually. So talk to us about that thing in you that you just can't deny. You have this vision of this painting. You have to have it out in the world, and you hope we all love it. Speak about your passion. We will be drawn in by your process, your passion, and your story.